There has been a lot of talk through the last 3 or 4 years about, oh, I'm going to wait to buy until the market crashes. I couldn't actually tell you how many times I have been told that by a prospective buyer, someone in passing, a friend, a family member, literally so many people online. So if you have been thinking that the market is going to crash and that's when you're waiting to buy, I am here to give you a little bit of a market update with where we are today at the end of April almost in 2025. Hi, my name's Bree Archer. I'm with Realty One Group Esteem in Liberty, Missouri, and I am here to keep you up to date on all the things that you need to know about in the Kansas City housing market. So, like I said, a lot of people have told me over the last 4 or 5 years that they are waiting for interest rates to come down or the price of houses to come down. I've heard both, and they're both. I totally can empathize with the thought, but the data tells us that you're going to be waiting for a while. We can't obviously predict what's going to happen in the housing market, but less than 3 months of inventory. In fact, we have less than 2.5 months of inventory. And that's not a lot, friends. That's not a lot at all. That is new construction homes and resale homes. We have less than 2.5 months supply. So we still have less supply than we need, although we are up in supply. We have 4.8% more in inventory than we did this time last year. But again, we still don't have the inventory to keep up with the amount of buyer demand that there really truly is in America and in Kansas City. Like I said, a lot of people have said that they're going to be waiting to purchase until the price of housing comes down. Historically, housing has been a safe investment for your money because even if there are times of economic despair where housing prices do diminish in value, they overall, as a long-term investment, appreciate in value. And you could ask anyone who bought a house in 1968 for 12 grand how much their home appreciated in value, but you might be a little sad. If you're trying to buy a house now, in Kansas City, our average sale price is about $360,000, which is up 8% year over year. So again, I cannot stress enough that if you're waiting for the price of housing to go down, you are going to continue to wait because the price of housing is not decreasing. Even when interest rates have been rising, the prices of homes have continued to increase. And that is just reality. Of course, every neighborhood, every county is hyperlocal, and I cannot stress that to my clients enough. If there is a way that we can get you into a house with great terms and little to no money down, that is, of course, a great opportunity for many people to get into homes and not something that I think a lot of people are aware of. And it's possible, but it just might not be in the same county. It might not be in the same area. It might not be in the same street. You might be a little bit further away. There is a number of factors that go into finding the right home and getting it for, ideal sale terms for all parties. But purchase price continues to rise. So if you're just waiting to see houses that were $400,000 drop to $350,000 or $300,000, the truth is you're not going to see that. Our median sale price here in Kansas City has been about $300,000, which again is still up year over year. It's about 5% higher than it was this time last year. So if that gives you any indication, now our days on market is higher and the percent of original sale price to list price is a little bit lower. It's not. But before, a couple of years ago, we were seeing sale prices averaging 102, 103% over their original list price. Now, we're looking at about 97%. So that is good for buyers because it tells us that they're able to get a little bit more of a deal or find more favorable terms as far as purchase price goes. But we are heading into the summer months, and that is prime real estate season. So the competition will begin to increase in certain areas, especially those of high demand. Johnson County, we are already starting to see multiple offer situations again in that county, Clay County in some areas. So again, it is about working with the right agent who is going to talk to you about what you need in order to be able to purchase a home. Maybe you have 20% down and you're going conventional and you can be a very competitive buyer. But if you're not one of those people, if you're one of those individuals who doesn't have a lot of money to put down, who might need to utilize a VA or an FHA loan, an MHDC, these are all programs that are still very much viable options in today's market. Just because we have low inventory, which does indicate that it's a seller's market, does not mean that the sellers get all of the say. We do still see certain sellers getting reduced purchase prices, making repairs on homes, not selling in its present condition, which are all good things for buyers. So again, I can't stress this enough that if you're waiting to buy because you think that the housing market is going to crash, I just would really encourage you to think about your housing needs. And if you can afford to buy a home now, I would strongly encourage it because the data shows that home prices are only continuing to rise in America and our supply is still limited. So if you can buy now and continue to maintain and make improvements to your home, you are only going to increase the value of your asset, and really you're just building your net worth. So that's kind of what's happening here in the Kansas City market. We are still seeing a lot of real estate activity despite having supply demand. Our pending sales are still, about where they were last year. So we're doing good there. Our days on market, like I said, they've increased, but I imagine since we are going into the summertime period, the days on market will start to decrease again, and sellers will see a little bit more of an uptick in buyer activity. So if you've been thinking, contemplating, wondering how you can start this journey of becoming a homeowner, or you are a homeowner but you're looking to make a change in that, go somewhere smaller or larger, and you want to take advantage of the summer market, either way, I'm your girl. I'm here to help and answer any questions that you can, that you come up with. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe, leave a comment below. I really appreciate you guys being on this channel and checking out my videos, and I look forward to talking with you more.